This is a public service announcement. Welcome in, DJs, friends, family, to everybody who is here this evening. Welcome to 2025, the first show of 2025. And we're going to talk about the show and everything tonight here. We're going to talk about it because we're going to talk about some things that have really been hitting me right here. And we've got some great information for you today as far as what's in store today. Today is about what's to come, the future of my whole channel. And also we'll do a Q&A as well so that you guys can have the floor. But I welcome everybody who is in here right now. Big ups to DJ G5 in the building. Big up to DJ KP. Thank you guys for always, showing up. Appreciate you guys. DJ Eric, appreciate you. Welcome to appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming out. No, it's okay. You can say what's up to everybody else. I'm just giving you a shout out while you're there. Welcome to appreciate you. Boy, you already into the speakers and everything. You ready to go this year. Yeah, I believe I've seen that system. That your system is incredible. DJ G Kenny, what's good? What's good? All right. So appreciate everybody that's in the building right now and for you guys showing up. And I'm glad that you're here early today because today I want to talk directly to you guys. I don't want to tell you about other stuff that I've got coming up. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I want to talk directly to you guys. And you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about this right here. I want to talk about this. And I want you guys to explain yourselves. To really explain it to me. Tell me just what happened. I had this whole thing lined up for all my creatives out there who wanted to jump on. I had this whole thing mapped out. I got all worked up. I got all this stuff worked up and ready to go. And I hear crickets. It was crickets. Literally, I came on this very show and I said, I need 10 DJs, 10 to hop on and do some mixing and we can get this New Year's thing going and do sort of a round robin and live stream. Keep this thing moving. Have some fun with it. Give you guys a chance to showcase your talents. I even created a whole email address. And I told you, please drop it, your email if you would like, or to email me if you would like to join. So days go by, a week goes by, and then we get to the day before. Crickets. Nobody, not one person, not one of you reached out to be able to do this live stream. Everybody all of a sudden had something else to do. Now, I'm always creating and everything for you guys. I'm always putting out content. I'm trying to put out different content. I'm trying to do a lot of stuff. I'm trying to get you guys to participate, to get you guys to interact. I've had shows where I've brought you guys on. We take your questions every single week. We answer your questions every single week. And all I asked for was 10 DJs, and I got crickets. So I had to do a 4-hour stream myself, because I had already advertised for it. I couldn't announce anybody else. And we had great participation. We had about 50 people come in and watch the stream. So it would have been a great platform. About 50 people at the max came in. On average, it was about 30 up and down in that middle range is what we had. We had a few people on Twitch too, but mainly everybody came from YouTube. And just watch me DJ. If you guys want to watch me DJ, I could have put together a mix just to play for 4 hours, and then I could have had my own New Year's. But crickets. So I'm asking you in the chat to explain yourself. Explain yourself. Because I kept getting asked about this for weeks. You guys were in my chats, in my DMs, on the show asking, what about New Year's? What about New Year's? You doing something for New Year's? You going to still set this up for New Year's? And I told you all I had to do was get through October and I can focus on New Year's. And that's exactly what I did. So now I would love to see what the chat says. Now that I've done that and put myself out there, got nice and toasty on the show. I went back and looked at the show. Show wasn't half bad. I had some great different angles. I had some music to be able to play the whole time. But I had a lot to drink. I had a lot to drink. And it shouldn't have been me doing all that. I should have been able to relax like you guys did. Right? I mean, that's only fair, right? You have to excuse the high pitch because I'm just a little confused. So let's look at some of these excuses, as we're going to call them real quick, as to why didn't anybody email me to join the show. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Spin Griffey was there. I saw him on the watching on the show. DJ Level Kev, he said he missed the message. DJ James King said, my bad. Look at that. Jay, you was fading on that stream. I wish I could see that again. No, I took that down. After I looked at that again, I took that down. No. G5, you was in a hospital bed. What? Bro, I hope everything's good, though. Real talk. Real talk. I hope everything's good. I mean, you're here, so I'm hoping that you're doing better. So I'll give you a pass. Now, Spin Griffey, I legit was going to do it, but the New Year's Eve gig I had a 2-hour call time. By the time I got off, it would have been like 11:30 your time. I remember you said you had a gig. You were there in the beginning, and then you had to work. I remember that. DJ Mike had to do that as well. DJ KP, my apologies. I don't have my stream set up yet. Man's taking it. Who said I couldn't do 4 hours? Oh, goodness. Yeah, I can definitely explain how I did that. I mean, I've got a video that I'm going to make that is like all the little things that I've done to kind of elevate video and content for me. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that as well. Is there a way to contact you to show me what I need to get? Yeah, just through that email address. It might even still be down in the description. It's hold on. The email, I would love to get my first email in this in this whole thing that I've set up here. It's djsmeetup@gmail.com. So DJsmeetup@gmail.com. Benny Blanco. My bad. My dog ate my mic. You didn't have to talk. You didn't have to talk as long as we can hear your music. And I took, I even moved the room. I wasn't just going to be in my normal stream room. I was trying to get something different. I was trying to have a TV behind me. So I went in my living room, had my TV behind me. I brought out the T stand because I figured it would look better on screen. What else did I do? I didn't get this specifically for that, but I had like the shot that I was getting where you could see just my hands. That was coming from a second camera that was on a automatic, what's that thing called? Slider. There you go. Automatic slider that I had gotten. But I'll show all that in the video. But I got it for different reasons. And I just figured I would go ahead and bring it out since it had arrived the day before. Because it wasn't supposed to arrive till after New Year's, and then it ended up arriving before New Year's. So I was able to use it, figure it out, watch some videos on it, make sure I did that. But yeah, guys, I was like, I don't know. I was a little salty, but then I just said, well, maybe I'm not supposed to do stuff like this. Maybe I should just keep it to where if we can't have the event to where people are physically in house somewhere, where a DJ steps in, then we can't do it. Because I felt like that if we could have had it to where you guys could tap in and we would do it that way. I hadn't seen that yet. I've seen where DJs have, a setup or two setups, and one DJ DJs for a minute, and then another one picks up and the camera goes with them, and it just keeps going like that. I've seen in-house stuff, but I've never seen somebody bring in, almost like a raid, but bring in another DJ from a whole nother area and be like, all right, your turn, and drop it. I thought that would have been just a crazy idea. And I had this idea exactly a year ago. I had it exactly 1 year ago when I was doing a New Year's Eve wedding. I saw that New Year's was on a Wednesday, and I said it then that I was going to do it. And then I just brought it to fruition and stuff this past, last month or beginning of this month. So look, I've learned from it. I'm good. I'm better now. I've had time to mull it over. Everybody has calmed down. Family's not like pissed at me anymore. Because the whole reason that I told them that, I was going to have to do this is because I thought I was going to have participation from you guys. And so it kind of took away from them a little bit. But they have forgiven me and we have moved on from it. So that's all good. All right. Let me see here. I think G5, I think what we can do is we can just have a meetup spot, for those who can make it, and then everybody else would kind of have to tune in. But, I've got DJs in this area that we can find a location to rent for that evening and just set up one setup that we can, tear down. We only need it for that day. We've got locations like that here. I saw plenty of them before that because I thought about doing something like that, but then I was like, no, I don't want to take it out of the house. I don't want to be on the roads or anything like that. So doing that on TikTok with another New York brother, definitely a vibe. See, and that's what I was shooting for. That's what I was aiming for. I was hoping that would be the opening to where we can grow that. And then next year we have 20 DJs, and then and then the next year after that we have 25, and you can just cut down the time, I was just hoping that would do that, but it's not. So I'm going to cut that avenue. I'm just going to cut it. I'll be a part of it. If somebody else puts it on, but I'm not going to put it on. I've already decided that's not me. That's not my lane. So let's talk about the future of this channel. Let's talk about the future of this channel. So I've been doing this show for a year and some change now. I've gotten really the hang of it, know how to talk, on the microphone, talking to a camera, talking to you guys. And, I went back and I just looked at the year's numbers on these videos, and the traction is, it has slowly grown a little bit here and there, but I think that my time slot is not allowing me to grow at all. I think it kind of went like this, and then it's been going like this for quite some time. Just like this hour of the day is kind of the peak. Like, this is the max I can get right now. And I think that's because this is the time that people spend with their families. So it must be a daytime thing that allows for you guys to be able to tune in, maybe from your jobs, or maybe you're a full-time DJ and you just have more time there. You don't have to do as much stuff during the day. So I think I'm going to come out of this time slot. The first thing I'm going to try is to switch time slots, and I'll update you on when I'm going to do that. But I think I'm going to move to more of an afternoon time slot. And I also think that I'm going to lower the amount of shows, because I feel like I'm giving you kind of the same thing. Like, we've talked about so many different topics. I mean, we've talked about clothes to wear. We've talked about setups. We've talked about gear to get rid of. We've talked about gear that is not necessary. We've talked about how to upsell. We've talked about, elevated easy. I have videos on all of these. I have videos and videos and videos on all of these. And so I've said a lot in this niche, and I feel like it's time to, if I can't bring you value every single week, then I shouldn't be on here every single week. If I don't have something to bring to the table to you, don't just fire it up just because it's a routine. And I think last year I did a lot of shows that were just kind of routine. It was just like, it's Thursday, so I know I got to hop on. Let me figure out what I can talk about. And, it's cool to go over stuff that I have and stuff that I've done. It's cool to do that. But how many times are you guys going to want to hear about the same stuff that I have? I mean, how many times can I tell you about the speakers I have and why I have those speakers? How many times can I tell you on why I picked the T-stand this week over the Rev 7? How many times can I tell you why I do my lights the way I do? Why I use the Wolf Mix over Sound Switch? How many times can I tell you that? I mean, it's like the same thing. So in order to keep it, quote unquote fresher, one, I think the time needs to change, and two, I think the amount of shows need to change. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that you guys find great value when I do an interview, and I love my interviews. I love to interview, and I want to continue to interview. But it's hard for the people that I interview to get in this time slot. They have more of a 12 to 1 o'clock type deal, or 1 to 2 o'clock type deal. They just have more time there. So I think if I'm going to have more interviews on this channel, I also think that we need to probably switch things up so that I can get more. I'm still planning on landing DJ Popo. His schedule is brutal. I mean, he is somewhere all the time. So I'm trying my best to land him. It is even hard to keep in contact with him because he goes dark. And like, if I can't get everything out to him right then and there, he goes dark because he's got this, that, and the other to do. So I'm trying to land some other DJs, and I've also narrowed down a venue that is willing to, the owner of the venue that is willing to talk to us. We just got to find a mutual time. So I'm hoping that can go down in February. those are the things that I've been doing behind the scenes. And that's also the thought process. The live drive at 5 that I've been doing. It's not seeing a whole lot of traction, and I've been doing it for probably about 3-4 months now. And I think the max amount of views on Twitch that I have gotten, is probably like seven people. And the only benefit that I've found from doing the live drive at 5 is when I take it, repurpose it, and put it on YouTube. And I guess I don't have a problem with that, but I'm probably going to cut down on those as much too. I think that I'm going to be more specific when I come out with content, because a lot of stuff is overly saturated. Even when I was sitting back and I wasn't able to, do anything live streaming, and I took a break from it since New Year's, just that little bit of time. I noticed that all the content that was being thrown at me by YouTube was a lot of the same stuff that I'm already doing. Whether it be a DJ's podcast, or whether it be a DJ's mix, or whether it be a gig log, or it was just, I'm like, geez, like my niche is almost drowning. It truly is. And it's harder for the algorithm to push certain videos. It really is. Because your content has just got to be like next level. It can't be the same as anybody else's. It's got to be next level. So these are just some of the changes. I'm just pulling back the curtain and telling you some stuff behind the scenes that are happening. Some of the stuff that I've noticed, some of the stuff that I've, been thinking about doing. And I just think that sometimes you got to shake some things up. You got to shake the tree. So 2025, we're going to shake the tree a little bit. It doesn't mean I'm going dark. It just means I'm going to be more selective on here. So I can see that the comments are rolling over here. I can't tell if you guys are. Let's see. That's what I was going to say. The Twitch rage would be better. I'm down for that. Hit the like button. Yeah, I think the lunch hour during the week is the best bet. Okay. So you guys are giving me some feedback here. What's up, DJ Vel? Happy New Year to you too, bro. DJ Paul Thompson, appreciate you all the way from Melbourne, Australia. Appreciate you, man. Jay Lopez. Yeah, prayers to anybody who is in the Los Angeles, California area. I know the wildfires are going crazy over there. I just hope that you guys are okay, and that you guys, that none of your homes or anything like that are being affected by the wildfires or anything like that, that you are safe. On this coast, we are about to experience extreme cold weather conditions here, which is absolutely nuts. So let's talk about what I've got going next, and then we'll get into a Q&A. We'll let you guys kind of chop it up. Make sure that you you answer the poll that's in the chat, and then if you want to ask a question, just make sure you do #ask once we get to the Q&A part, and I'll try to answer all your questions. But let me tell you what I got going this weekend, which is absolutely insane. This is some insanity right here. Oh, I got my first email. Kevin Norman. Appreciate you for giving me my very first email. Bro, your show is crazy dope. Appreciate you. Thank you for that, Kevin, for being my first email in the DJ's meetup at gmail.com. Thank you for that. Okay. So let me just tell you. So we've got a weather advisory for frozen temperatures, snow, ice, all that stuff coming up for tomorrow and Saturday. Now, you would think that my functions would slow down for these, but that is not the case. Tomorrow, I will be in Charleston, South Carolina, which is right beside the ocean, and I will be doing a wedding at an old plantation house. And here's the kicker. That's 2.5 hours away, right? the kicker is tomorrow's low temperature is supposed to be 25 degrees here. And the high, let me make sure I get this right. The high tomorrow is 41, but it's only 41 at like 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock. Then the temperatures go back down. I have a wedding until 10 p.m. tomorrow night, and it is 100% outside. 100%. And when I say outside, I mean no tent. I mean heaters, those heaters kind of spaced out in areas. Literally 100% uncovered, snowy, cold temperature wedding. But wait, it gets better, because the very next day, because I have to do that function, be done, pack up, drive 2.5 hours home, because Saturday I have another wedding that is also outside. And the high for Saturday is 45 degrees with a low of 29. It's only 45 degrees for 2 hours, and then the decline comes. But this one is like a sheltered area that has some sides that can come down, but the wind is supposed to be like crazy here. Like we've got some winter storm thing like coming through. But I've got 2 outside weddings the next 2 days. And then next weekend, I've got a wedding, and it's inside a building. Thank God. And then the following week after that, I've got a party, and it's inside a building too. No, 2 weeks after that, because I go on vacation the week after that. In 3 weeks, I go on vacation. 4 weeks, I've got another party. So yeah, outside event in 20-degree weather. It will literally be the coldest wedding I have ever done. Ever. I will literally be wearing a trench coat with a Scully to DJ. Literally. And I was not able to find gloves that will fit these hands today, and Amazon would not send me the stuff I needed without me paying like $40, which is like some cost of some of these gloves, and I wasn't going to do that. So these boys will be out while I'm trying to DJ. Literally, I cannot make this up. This is happening. It is nuts. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about here, DJ KP. You know exactly what I'm talking about, because that winter front is coming from the west. So it's coming through Texas, through Alabama, through Louisiana, through Mississippi, through Atlanta, well, not Atlanta, but Georgia, through Columbia, through Charlotte, all that. So it's just completely taken over the lower East Coast, but it misses Florida. Like Florida will get like, a little bit of it, but it misses Florida for the most part. I'm just like, bro, you kill it. The one thing that gets me with these types of events is that when the couple sits down, and if the couple's in here, look, I'm just having fun. Okay, I'm not knocking your wedding. Okay, because I found out that a lot of my couples do check out my content. So when you sit down for an event for your wedding and you say, okay, we want to get married in January. Now January in Columbia is always cold, and no matter what, it's always cold. We've had some warm Christmases, but January and February always cold, always. But when you say January, and you say you want to get married there, when you find the venue and they say, well, you can't use any of the inside. Like, what goes on here where it says, yeah, outside would be great in January. Outside, yeah, I think that's the move. Now, grandma, parents, guests, friends, staff, vendors, everybody that you have purchased to come out there is going to be out there, literally in 20-degree weather. So we're gonna make it work, because all I can keep saying on the mic to you at this point is dancing may help you be a little warmer, but not so much, because there literally will be snow on the ground. Yeah, it says snow too. Like on my phone right now, I'm looking at it. It says snow. I've never done a wedding outside in the snow, but there's a very, very high possibility that is taking place tomorrow. So what am I going to do? I'm going to capture content, because that, my friends, is the kind of content that I want to show you. Something nobody else can say that they've done. I have not seen another DJ. I've seen DJs say it's snowing outside, but we're going to a building. I get it. But I've never seen a DJ in the snow. Now you show me one video where they've DJ'd in the snow. I wait. Oh man, it's crazy. Daniel Rodriguez, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Always a pleasure. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Your gear may not even work after a while. Oh man, I thought about it long and hard on what I'm going to bring out there, and I just don't know, because wind is going to be a factor. Temperature is going to be a factor. It is going to be insane, guys. I cannot wait to tell you what happened at this one. I can't wait. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. I'm totally prepared for it. I have everything done. I have all the music ready to go. I am ready to rock and roll. I've been preparing for this thing all week long. You might have a viral video from this one. I may. I just may. Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to have a bar out there. I think that's the venue called me and told me that they are that one of the things that sells the property that they're doing is the bar. So I want to see how cool this bar is that would sell an outdoor wedding in January with no tent and just heaters. Because at least with a tent, the heaters would have sent the heat up, and it would have been trapped up in the ceiling and tried to help a little bit. With no tent, that heat just goes to nowhere. It just gone. Nobody gets to feel that heat unless you're right up on that heater. So I can't wait to tell you how that went. But the thing I fear the most about tomorrow is the drive there and the drive home. Only because when they say these icy conditions, people here in South Carolina do not know how to drive. And I'm not saying that there won't be black ice, excuse me, or ice out there. But, you know, I just need to make it there, and I need to make it home. Even if it takes me till 2 a.m. to get home and we're done at 10, I just need to make it home so that I can do this event Saturday, which is right around the corner from me. So that will always be fun. This will be fun. That's what I have to keep saying in my head. It will be fun. Okay. I've ranted enough. I've talked my spill. I've said what I've needed to say. I've gotten it all out. Let's talk about it. Let's give you the floor. Ask any questions that you would like to ask. Just make sure you put #ask in the comments so we can talk about them. If I don't know the answer to the question, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell you flat out, I do not know the answer. And if you do know the answer, please help out your fellow DJs and answer it in the chat. I don't know about next week's show. I don't know off the top of my head. Let me just say that just in case this is not the part that you want to hear. I don't know. I know I will talk about this and figure out a time if I do it next week. Actually, if I'm going to do it, I probably need to do it next week because the week after that, I won't be here. So I definitely won't do it in 2 weeks. So we'll do another one next week, and we're going to try a new time. We're going to try a new time. It's either going to be 12 o'clock or it's going to be 1 o'clock. So just keep that in mind. You'll get notifications if you like the show. Make sure you have your notification bells on so that you can know whenever I go live. Okay. Let's see what we have here. DJ Paul Thomas says, take a metal trash can, fill it with some wood, and you'll have your own outdoor heating sword. Yeah, you know, I wish there was something that I could bring, like something like a, you know, because here we don't have as many. Well, we don't have outside events in January. We just don't. We don't have outside events. I think the only outside event that I have in January is that for this little subdivision, I do a polar plunge for them. And for those who don't know what that is, polar plunge is basically these guys jumping in cold water for charity. So these guys come up, in their little bathing suits, jump into a pond or lake that is man-made in their subdivision. They jump in on purpose for a charity of their choice. So I usually do that, but they did not call this year. So that's usually the only outdoor event that I do in January. But now that's all changed. DJ KP, you bought the Rev 5. All right. Congratulations, my guy. I hope it serves you as well as you would like it to serve you. So definitely. 1 p.m. on Thursday, or you coming for Cleveland Terry Nag? Well, not really coming for CT, man. CT he is a veteran in the game, but I can't. Maybe I'll come on an hour before him, but I can't do this time slot like that. This time slot does not allow for any growth. It just doesn't. And the numbers from last year prove that. If there was more growth from last year, I would keep the time slot. I truly would. Truly would. All right. DJ James King says, what equipment were you using for that New Year's live stream? Your angles were dope. Okay, so equipment that I'm using. I'm actually on the camera that I was using. I have the Sony ZV-E10 camera, and it had I think a Tamron lens on it. I'm not a huge camera head. I have to look at videos in order to know the camera stuff, but it had a Tamron like 18 millimeter lens, I believe, on it. I had, what else did I have? A Cam Link, 4K Cam Link that ran into my laptop, which is right over here. It's a MacBook laptop into Ecamm, which is the thing that I use to run this show. Camera angle from the side was on that motorized slider that I got from Amazon. It was the F60 from Asurion. I think it's ACCURION, something like that, but it's the F60 one. And you could put a battery on it and it slides back and forth, or you can plug it in and it slides back and forth, and you can set the parameters to which you would like it to go. And it also turns while it's sliding too. So that's what kind of caught the angle of my hands. I did just recently move that up to the stream room. And so I used it on my last live drive at 5 on Twitch, and it looked great as well there. So that was for that. And that camera was the Sony A64 6500 or 6600, something like that, for that camera. I had two, what are those lights? I don't remember those lights. Aperture, is it aperture? No, it's not aperture. Let me see. I can't remember what the lights are. The lights are Amaron. Okay, it's the Amaron PT1C light tubes that was sitting on top of my hoverboard T-stand. So that kind of gave it the light. I also had a light under which was a Amaron MCF5D, which was a light that was under the laptop, to kind of give it just a little bit more light for where I was at. And what else did I have? I use a Steinberg MK2, which is an audio interface. I've had it since COVID, so I've been using it for quite a while. It's also the same audio interface that I use over in the stream room over there. So that's mainly the equipment that I use to kind of get the sound and the visual from the New Year's Eve event. So hopefully that helps. They do that in Melbourne, Australia for MND. It's called the Big Freeze. They get celebrities involved. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right, this is your time. I know what happens when I give you guys your time. Yeah, I'm being petty. I know what happens when I give you guys an opportunity to shine. You just kind of fade to the back, right? That's what the MO is. You know I had to come on here and get you, right? You know, one thing you can't say about me is I don't give opportunities. I give opportunities. I give a lot of opportunities. I definitely do. And when I do, you got to take advantage of them, because it make you don't want to give those no more. You know what I'm saying? All right, right now in the polls, it looks like 90s hip hop and R&B is the favorite genre to listen to while you're driving home. I'm just curious on how to make sure you answer that poll that's in the chat, guys. All right, what we got here? DJ KP. Yeah, I'm a comedian tonight, baby. I'm a comedian tonight. Let's see, what else can I get on you guys for? I can get on you guys for a lot of stuff, man. I can sit there and say, you know, the most participation that I had through this show was when I had you guys send in your setups. You know, I still get emails to this day about you guys sending in setups. I mean, I don't mind doing that show, but like if I've done it, I don't want to like keep doing it, because it'd just be the same stuff, right? But the setup show was pretty good. I've got the most participation from the setup show. That's what I said earlier. Why you started 2025 petty, man. Come on. Look. G. Kenny, you of all people know that when I have an opportunity, I'm going to give an opportunity. You know, you kept asking me about being a moderator on here. What did I do? I figured out how to do the moderator thing. First thing I did, gave you the moderator. Boom. You and a couple other people asked about New Year's. First thing I did when I had an opportunity, I made sure that I tried to give you what you wanted for. I knocked it out. Y'all kept asking me. What did y'all say? Man, I'm sorry, man. I'm busy, man. Fam told me I can't do it. I got to give you hell off of that. I got to. That is all the reason to be petty after you ask me for it. So yeah, we do get to be just a little bit petty today. A little bit petty. All right. DJ Paul Thompson asked, are scrims in speaker and light stand tables still a thing? Not really. most DJs are going to column array speakers, and they're not putting speakers on stands anymore. The only thing that's on stands really now are like ceremony speakers, here and there. They're still on stands, but for the most part, column arrays are being used for main setups. And it's just, that's kind of all the sorts now. The only scrim that I see most DJs use is sometimes I see DJs who have tables and have table scrims, or the scrims that come on the front panel of a facade. They'll use those, but scrims are starting to become a thing of really the past. I mean, the DJ setup is just evolving and ever evolving. So I can definitely tell you that it won't be that way for long. 2025 can probably see more structured setups. I see a lot more DJs doing the TV and the stand setup, getting away from, some of the archaic styles of setups, which is fine with me. I love change. I love change. I love when stuff is different. I definitely plan on trying to make that small setup something different. I wasn't pleased with what it was last year, so I'm just looking for new ways to make that small setup really pop and get in and out of events too. So I don't think it's much of a thing anymore, to answer your question. All right, G. Kenny. Jay, do you feel like YouTube landscape has changed? I see more people doing videos, DJ mixes live now. Is that the wave? I think that if you've got something to really say that's different, right now, let me just tell you the things that are absolutely gold right now in this niche and have been for quite some time. Products. Product. Whether you show it in your setup, whether you show it in somebody else's setup, if you can announce, show, or be just one of the first people to put out information about products, when you highlight a product, that is one of the highlights that YouTube likes to push. It pushes those reviews further than just about any one that I can see. When you give tips and tricks, that is something different. Sometimes I think it's based on who it comes from, but for the most part, that would be the second form of content that is great. But the number one form of content from a DJ that gets the most views by far is live mixing. Live mixing. And you may not hit it the first or the second time, but if you put out 4 videos of live mixing and your image is clean and your sound is clean. Now, both of these you have to have both of these. You have to have a clean image and your sound has to be clear. If you put out 4 videos, I can almost guarantee you that one of them will have 10,000 or more views. Almost. I mean, it's that crazy. I can't say that about 4 gig logs. I can't say that about 4 product videos. I can't say that about 4 how to do videos or tips and trick videos, but I can say that about 4 live mixes. One of those will get 10,000 or more, if not all of them. Because if you can do different angles and there's so many. And I don't even want to say that it's the wave. It's what's been going on well before I jumped in. I just jumped in just to get my feet wet. And man, I got wrinkles under my toes now. Feet been in a little too long, right? Oh, let's see, man. New Year's show was great. Stop me and Span Griffith words there. Me and Span Griffith were extremely entertained. Plus, I was trying to get the info weeks before, but I'm gonna leave it alone. All right, G. Kenny, you keep beating that drum now. first fan from the book club to go live with you? First fan. G5, you might have to elaborate on that. Who was the first fan from the book club to go live with me? Go live with me. I don't know. I don't know if that still happened. I have no idea. Do you mean like on the show? Do you mean like on a stream? I don't know. You have to ask me that again in a different way so I can understand it. Then why are there so many DJs still rocking that look? I have a pair of 29G3. Well, again, it's a regional thing. It's a regional thing, and then it's like overly saturated here in the States. So here in the States, when one thing kicks off, people kind of just take from that, or they'll build their own. A lot of DJs are building their own setups. But for the most part, you don't see a lot of DJs with those stands anymore, especially the light stands, the ones that have lights on the actual legs, or putting lights under a scrim. Like that is just, it's archaic. It died probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and everybody's going to, subs with a top and a pole in between, or a column array speaker. That's just what the wave is. Ask, what was your favorite album of 2024? Do I even have one? 2024 was rough with albums. Let me see. Let me see what I got for albums here. 2024 albums. Oh God. I didn't have one. I just looked through all these albums, and any of the ones that I listened to on here, I was like, no, I didn't even listen to that twice. No, I didn't listen to that twice. I think I just listened to, you know what I did in 2024 when it came to music? I downloaded a lot more classic music. Like when I say classic, like 90s music, I download a lot more. I focus a lot more there. I focus a lot more on like 2000s as far as music. There was no real album. I could tell you what style of music that I liked the most in 2024 that I had not put my hands on enough of, and that's K-Tronada. K-Tronada music had a big hold on me music-wise. So seeing some mixes from that, seeing new music come out from that, but not necessarily an album, but that style of music was huge in 2024 for me. I have my K-Tronada section right now is pretty freaking good. I definitely tapped into that once I figured out where you can get some of that stuff from. But a lot of these record pools and stuff now, I mean, a lot of this new stuff, it's hard to vibe with. I mean, I know Kendrick is killing it right now with all these singles, and it's crazy because they sound great, but it's hard to listen to a Glorilla. It's hard to listen to the Baby. It's hard to listen to Lil Baby. It's hard to listen to some of these new guys, man. And it's, I don't know. I don't know why I can't really mess with a whole album. I did like the Snoop and Dr. Dre album that came out also, but I haven't listened to it twice. I did listen to it on a gig trip when I was, driving to a gig, and I was impressed by it. I was definitely impressed by it because the production on it was insane, and Snoop sounded like old Snoop, but I don't know. It was hard for me to catch a vibe with a full album. I would say that album sticks out pretty good to me, but it took all the way to December for me to get that album. So I don't know. I would have to say if I had to pick an album, it'd probably be that one, the Snoop and Dre album. Yeah. Yeah. That's where the ticket is right there, G Kenny. That is where the ticket is right there. Daniel Rodriguez says, any thoughts on Rachel's situation and how important it is to have emergency contact, such as a DJ? Well, I mean, I feel bad for Rachel's situation because, that's one of my biggest fears going to these gigs, especially like doing something like I am tomorrow. When you're driving long distance or you're driving to these places, that's why it's so important for you to get the proper rest the night before, get all this so you can be alert on the road. Not saying that she was not. Her situation was quite different. It's just, somebody, came and hit her. So it's like, it's rough because that was beyond her control. And that's the thing that I worry about the most is like when I'm on this road driving back or driving to, I'm at the mercy of these other people to drive accordingly also. But I mean, that's every day. It's just like one of them things where you just got to be lucky every day to make it where you're going. And I know I say that and that sounds crazy, but you truly do. I mean, you got to be lucky to make it to the grocery store. And we take a lot of that stuff for granted, just making it around the corner to the grocery store. But most accidents, I mean, I almost got in an accident backing out of my driveway. You know what I'm saying? So like accidents don't have to be just because you're driving a long distance or driving to this place and other. You have to be lucky every single day to not get in an accident once you get in that car. You have to be lucky. You do. Because it's not you that's worried about you. It's you that's worried about everybody else. And everybody else, you don't know what's going on in their mind. Look at the Louisiana thing. I mean, people down there trying to enjoy New Orleans for New Year's. And this crazy dude just come through there spraying, shooting, driving the car straight down the road. Like it's nuts. Like people's mental is a very finicky thing. It is. And all it takes is for one person to be mad at somebody else and see fits of rage or just have, very bad driving aggression, road rage and stuff like that. And it changes your whole day. So it is very important to have somebody on backup. But in situations like what I'm in tomorrow, I mean, there's no backup. There's no backup. Like I literally would have to refund these people. And that's why I don't spend any of that money until after the gig, because of that very reason, because I have to make it to all these gigs. So if I had to give you any nugget here, 2 nuggets that I would give you, I would say 1, don't spend the money when they pay you. If I've told you several times, you make sure you get paid early, put that in your savings until after you finish the gig and you've made it home. Put that in your savings because you may have to give that back if you can't make it. And you don't want to have already spent that. And then it's already going to be a bad look. You don't want a lawsuit behind it. Just saying. So, condolences go to Rachel and her family. I hope that she is okay and recovering. And I hope that this doesn't give her PTSD. Because I know it would for me. So that is a tough situation to be in when you have no control over the situation. Very tough. I think she had backup though, which was great. Dennis 50 plus, Happy New Year to you too, bro. All right. Yeah. When you did the anniversary joint. Oh, you mean like the 100th show? Who was the first to reach out to you? It was you. You was the first one to come on the show. Like that was another one where people were hesitating. So it was definitely you. It was you. G5, I got a great memory. I know you was there, bro. I know that if you could have been there, you probably would have. I'm just speaking to everybody who knew and asked me questions and asked me to set stuff up and still wasn't there. That's who I'm talking to. I gave you a pass and stuff because you were incapacitated. You were in the hospital. You're off the hook. I'm wishing you well because I want you to get better. And with you being here, I know that you're in whatever recovery you need to be in. So, But all these other folks that been asking me, they know who they are. They already know. They're the ones giggling in the chat. They're the ones putting the LOL in the chat. Go back and look at that chat. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right, what else we got here? Rocking my two large moving heads on gravity stance. Kudos to you for switching over that. I'm telling you, makes the world of difference. I love it. Kendrick Allen West Coast right now. It's good. It's good. And you know, this is all the thing, since he got the Super Bowl, of course, put out an album so you can have something to rap about, because a lot of Kendrick's early stuff, a little bit slower. He'll probably do a couple of things from the early stuff, but it was a little bit slower. You already did all right at the Super Bowl one time, so you're probably not going to do that. I mean, it's hard to do swimming pools at the Super Bowl. It's slow, but if you got a lot of current music that all these kids and stuff know, people use on TikTok right now, why not put it out early so that when it comes Super Bowl time, they'll be like, oh, yeah, that is that song I did that dance to. So, I mean, he did the right thing putting it out now. He did the right thing. Let's see. What is going to be the next innovation, or what would you like to see for mobile DJs in 2025 and beyond? I would just like to see mobile DJs stay creative. I think we've gotten a little complacent when it comes to content. I'm glad that everybody is recording now. I think it's become more of a thing. It's so crazy to see how many people started picking up cameras, because I know when I started, holding the camera out in front like this used to be like so nerve-wracking out in public. But now it's so natural. Now it's crazy how natural it is, for those guys to pick up a camera and just do content. I think that it's very important. It's very important to the success of your business. It's very important to like have content out that's got your face on it, because that is your work. That is stuff you've done. If you're in here practicing and you're in here putting together these great mixes, nobody hears them but you. Why not share them? If you share them, then you've got content out there. You've got a portfolio out there. Somebody says, hey man, can I listen to a couple of mixes? Guess what? You can go to my Mixcloud. I've got mixes there. Guess what? You can go to YouTube. I got my stuff there. So kudos to those for picking up. Now in 2025, I think it's going to be a lot more lavish. I think DJs are going to get out of their minds with picking up product. I think that it has really gotten out of control with buying products. It is out of control. Guys are spending money. Guys are definitely spending money. New moving heads, new controllers, new setups, new vehicles, guys are spending money. So I just think it's going to get even more lavish. I think it's just everybody's just going to try to elevate and take that next step up. Is that a bad thing? No. If you feel like your business needs to do that, absolutely. If it separates you from the competitor or the next DJ, let me not call it competitor because we all eat off the same plate, then yeah, sure, do it. Do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's see. James King says, is there any piece of gear you want to upgrade in 2025? Well, I'm actually taking a different challenge this year. I'm taking a different challenge because last year I upgraded a lot of stuff. I upgraded microphones for ceremonies. I've got, 2 great speakers, 2 Everse 8s for ceremonies. I've got, 2 great setups. I may try to get a third one, but I'm going to slow down a little bit. And I want to see how long I can make what I have work. How long can I make what I have work? Because I have a lot of great stuff. So one of my things on my board over here is for the first 6 months of the year, and then I'm going to try to extend it after the first 6 months, of course. But for the first 6 months, to not buy a piece of gear. Don't buy one piece of gear. Unless it breaks and I have to have it for a client, Do not buy one piece of gear. Let the gear do what it needs to do. Because I have what, 24 uplights that are fantastic, that are all working. I've got a great wolf mix. I've got a great T-stand. I've got, rain controllers. I've got, S11 mixer. I've got a Rev 7. All these things working together. All these things have been working. So let's just use what we got. First 6 months, no equipment. If I can make it the first 6 months, I'm going to challenge myself to finish out the year, no equipment. Because right now I've been getting like camera gear and all this stuff to be able to venture out and do other stuff too. I want to create other streams of content. So I've been getting stuff like that. But nothing DJ related. I just feel like I'm at a good point. Definitely want to hold off for the first 6 months. And I think the only thing that I would get DJ related this year, if I can do what I said I could do, my reward to myself for doing that, is to sell my trailer and buy a new trailer. Just one that's a little bit bigger, because I have definitely outgrown the trailer that I'm in now. I would like to be able to have more room in a trailer. So not necessarily a piece of DJ equipment, but a trailer that's going to go ahead and take me on this next 5, 6, 7 year journey, and then be done with that. Be done with trailers and all that stuff. Because I've got a goal too. I've got other goals outside of that, but first 6 months, no gear, no nothing. So I'm not looking to buy anything. I've got everything. Projector. I've even got up-to-date cables. I've got everything, man. I've spent so much money. When I do my taxes this year, I'm probably just going to be scratching my head like, what the hell was I thinking? So yeah, first 6 months, nothing. Let's see. What is going to be the next innovation on what would you like to see for mobile DJs in 2025? I just think that they're just going to go more wireless, and I think that's a great thing. I think, they've already started, with lights, and now they've done it with movers. And I just think that they're going to get as close to wireless speakers that will be able to be used. That'll be the next test out, because could you imagine setting up a full setup and no wires be attached at all? Like everything just communicate with some type of hard link and it just works and there's no wires. Could you imagine that? Like that is the next innovation that somebody has to put out. They've already gotten the lighting and everything down packed. We're good with lighting. So I would say wireless. Close, the more wireless we can get, the better. So anything wireless. Marcus Jordan, what's good? Best advice in streaming your setup and buying furniture. Streaming your setup, you want to make sure that you got an audio interface, that you've got a decent camera. Do your homework on the camera, because I can tell you that I wish I would have done better homework on the camera and not just gotten something. Because I found out that these Sony ZV-E10s do exactly what I want them to do, and I should have just paid more attention. They do exactly what I want them to do, especially for live streaming. So do your homework on your cameras, and make sure you have an audio interface to come out of your controller with. Other than that, I mean, really, everything else is just cosmetic, to be totally honest with you. I've seen people literally have a great camera, have a Rev 1, and take that, run that through an audio interface, and have any background they want, whether it be outside in the backyard, whether it be downtown in the city. It didn't matter, because the audio was going to be clear because they had an interface. And then you said for buying furniture, you just have to think about the venues that you're playing in and what is going to be the most aesthetically pleasing. You really need to look at things that make you fit into the most events that you do. If you do a lot more parties, then you probably want to have something with a TV in it. You're probably going to want to have that. You know, I that's one of the things that I told you I kind of put down. I don't like to do TVs anymore, but if yours is more party and events, you probably want to have something with a TV in it. You're probably going to want to have a smaller setup if you do more parties and events. Now, if you do weddings, then you want to have something that has a little bit more elegance to it, something that is clean, that has lines, that everything is symmetric, stuff that you can hide behind a facade maybe a little bit, that's just really clean. You just want to stay as clean as possible when you're doing stuff like events like weddings, because you're at people's big day and you want to be included in that photo when they show the whole entire room, because that's free advertisement. So hopefully that helps with buying furniture. Furniture is really what you want it to be. It fits your needs, and then it breaks down and puts up as fast as possible. Context: I have a lot of equipment, but not a system. I think I answered that. Why not get a tail van instead of a trailer? Because I've already bought my truck. I bought my truck a few years ago to pull my trailer. And I like pulling my trailer. I like pulling a trailer. I've done the whole van thing. And stuff is just, too tall for it. So I just like to get in a trailer. Trailer just suits me better. It's not for everybody. It just suits me. System meaning not all equipment works with compliments. All right, ask, what is the best way to streamline your equipment? I have a lot of equipment, but not all of it is good quality. They don't complement each other. I want to also move to furniture. Okay, again, I think this is the advice that I just gave you. So I just think that you have to kind of work within your means until you can buy the components, each component, because you don't want to go into debt over trying to buy equipment. If the equipment can get you through, then save up your money and buy one piece of equipment that took the place of 3 pieces of equipment. Buy the set of speakers that you wanted to get, but don't go into debt buying them. Make the money first and then buy them. Just get through with what you got to get through with to make it through now. Or you can rent from another DJ, but it'll cost you money to do that. But don't go into debt buying equipment. Please, please don't be another DJ that is in debt because he's got $7,000 worth of equipment and don't know how to use it. It is just baffling. Please take your time, piece it together. Take your time, piece it together. All your special days that come up, birthday, Christmas, all that, ask for money. Ask for money. When you do an event, take that money, pay whatever bills you got to pay, and then put it to the side, and that is your equipment money. It's going to take time. The setup that I have right now, I had 2 setups prior to those that I had for at least 10 years. 10 years of the same thing. 10 years of the same thing. So take your time. Gigs are not going anywhere. You're going to have gigs. Take your time. You don't have to get it all at once. Piece it together. Do you think 2025 will bring cleaner music that's not so sexually explicit, like getting rid of Sexy Red? No, I think that category is going to get worse. There are more female rappers that we don't know about. There are more male rappers that we don't know about that are not mainstream, that are getting mainstream play on things like TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. It is going to get worse. The music is not reverting back. It is elevating from where it's at now and only going to get worse. I don't even know half of the words that are being said now. When I heard somebody say, I want to get slimed out or slutted out or something like that, I'm like, what? What is that? What is that? It's going to get worse. Sexy Red got to come out with another album. Glorilla got to come out with another album. Megan Thee Stallion been coming out with albums on top of albums. And they are just the ones that we hear about. There's so many other artists that talk that same way, they like that next tier down. It's going to get worse. All right. Couple more, then we're going to get out of here. Have you decided on your next DJ furniture yet? Joining Team Danny Max. No, I have not. And trust me, I will definitely be thoroughly doing my homework on that. I don't do anything now without watching multiple videos. And I'm actually looking for the negative instead of the positive. Like if I find something I like, I want people to tell me the reasons why they hate it. Because that is what makes a break if I get it. If I hear common themes. Common themes. All right. Well, that was a great show. I really appreciate you guys, man. You guys came out, balled out, stayed with me. DJ Level Kev, do you recommend a standalone interface like a Scarlett USB for the back of the mixer controller, like a S7, Rev 7? If you're doing live stream, yes. Like I said, I have a Steinberg. I know Scarlett is really good, and you can use a Zoom recorder to do that. A Zoom recorder also can be an interface. And they have some other ones, but Scarlett is probably the most popular one. But yeah, if you're doing live stream. So, all right, guys. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming out each and every week. Thank you again for joining the show tonight. Be on the lookout. Turn on those notifications for all things DJ JayBook. Once we kind of solidify a different time, I will definitely let you know. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, because that's where I put a lot of information for you guys to know any changes that have happened. I know I didn't advertise tonight. I didn't know if I was going to do a show tonight. I know I had put it in that the show was going to happen, but I almost didn't do it. But I felt like I needed to go ahead and get on here and get some stuff off my chest and then tell you guys what I'd been thinking. So that's why the show did take place tonight. So follow me on Instagram for all the up-to-date information regarding the show and just me in general. If you want to see that cold wedding initially, make sure you follow Instagram. You'll see all the behind the scenes there. Also, next Wednesday, I will be doing my live Drive at 5 on Twitch. So make sure you guys come check me out on Twitch, 5 p.m. EST every Wednesday. Just come show some support. You know, you can have me on in your background if you want to, just to show some support. But also, I keep some mixes on Mixcloud, as well as I will be transitioning a lot of my Drive at 5s over to Mixcloud and making them a YouTube video. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. I hope you got some information from me. Let's have a good weekend, a great start to the year. I am going to be a busy bee. You guys pray for me and make sure that I make it to and from the gig like I need to, because I'm definitely going to want to update the community when it comes to these functions. So thank you so much. Each and every week you guys come out. We'll try to be back next week. I don't know if it's going to be 12 p.m. EST or it's going to be 7 p.m. Who knows? I'll figure it out by then. You guys kill any gigs that you've got this weekend. Just remember, every gig is an audition for the next one. Thank you so much. I just can't say that enough. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Hit the like button on your way out, and make sure you live in to strive, not to survive. We out, people. Peace.